My name is Samba Diallo, and I'm from Rufisque, Senegal, and this is my story. I grew up in a town called Rufisque, and it's like not that big, and it's like a basketball town, so everybody, if you're not playing soccer, you're playing basketball. It was different, it was kind of rough. That's the only option we got over there. If you're going to school, after school there's nothing else. And that was the way of my parents keeping me out of the streets and stuff. And I was just playing basketball. So that's all you know, is just play basketball or go play soccer.
We happened to be at a game and we hear a parent talking about the fact that they want to bring another international recruit into Pope John, and his name was Samba. They couldn't find a host family because it may mean up to a 5-year commitment.
She is great. She's a great person. She is like fun to be around with, and she helped me a lot when I get here because there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know and a lot of stuff that I had to get used to, and they were very patient with me.
Can you imagine a situation where your 15-year-old child has never been out of their home country? You don't know anything about where they're going. You don't know this person. They didn't know me. They didn't know my husband. They put him on a plane, gets off a plane in Newark Airport, and he comes to our home. The faith that that family had to have to do that because they knew this was going to be the best thing for their son is just amazing to me. I don't know that I could have done it as a mom.
Samba quickly adapted and thrived in his new surroundings and with his new family. Samba also made an immediate impact as a basketball star on the court at Pope John High School in New Jersey. His success drew a crowd of college coaches up until he suffered what became a life-altering injury.
Like, nobody wishes to have injuries or anything, but that helped me a lot. You know, everything that you go through, you gotta like learn from it, and that was a moment where I learned a lot about a lot of people, and I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about other people around me.
He was being recruited by a lot of teams within the Atlantic 10. His last game, he tore his ACL. So when he came home, and this speaks to who Samba is, he called every coach that was recruiting him to advise them that he had been injured because he didn't want them to hear it from anybody else.
You would have never known that he was dealing with an ACL injury. He was upbeat, he was positive. I took a visit to see him when he was a senior in high school going through that process, and it was just like it was another day, and that, I hurt my knee and I'm gonna get it fixed and we're gonna move forward.
I have to tell you, the reaction of Coach McCall was a big reason that Samba has come to UMass. He was one of the only coaches who said to Samba, "Don't you worry, Samba, it's gonna be fine, you're gonna rehab, it's gonna be great, we love you, we want you to come here."
There was the time that I don't even get to charge my phone. If I plug it in, somebody would call and I would be on the phone all the time. So that was those moments, and then I got hurt. It's like I can go all day long, my phone don't ring, nothing. He was the first one who called me. It's like, hey, look, like, I know you're hurt and this is gonna be like a long process, and just wanna let you know, like, we're here to support you, anything you need.
Before the start of his first semester at UMass, Samba returned home to Senegal to be with his family and renew his visa. Upon arrival, Samba was unfortunately greeted with a horrific reality.
He had to go home to get his visa renewed, and I was a little nervous about him going home that summer because there's always a risk that something happens and you can't get your visa and you can't come back. But it was a really wonderful thing that he did because that was the last time that he saw his mom because she was sick, and he was able to say goodbye to her.
I went home like last summer and she wasn't good. When I walked into the house, like, I didn't even see her yet, but then the minute I stepped through the door, I felt like something wasn't right. I walked into the living room and she was just laying there. I know her as much as she knows me. So, the moment I looked at her, I know that she wasn't right. One of the toughest times, leaving home, that was one of them.
She was a beautiful woman. She and Samba resemble each other. So if you see a photograph of her, you'll see a lot of Samba in her.
Samba had considered staying in Senegal to be with his mom, brothers, and father. At their behest, he returned to the States to begin his career as a Minuteman. As UMass prepared for their first basketball game of the season, Samba had learned that his mother had passed away.
That was a difficult day. It was our first game of the season. You know, his mother did an unbelievable job raising him. Who he is as a person goes to her, and she is smiling down on him every single day when he hits those and ones and starts shaking his shoulders.
Here's Diallo trying to square up his man Scott, going underneath and draws the contact.
Picks up the mop to help clean the court, or just comes in and wants to have a conversation and bust my chops about something. That's a tribute to her, and she's smiling down on him every single day.
Diallo has carried on and honors his mother in many ways. Most notably, he honors her with his shoes, bearing a message to her while displaying where he came from and how at one point he had so little.
When he was playing basketball in Senegal, they did not have a lot of shoes, so he and his very good friend shared one pair of shoes.
I would struggle to have a pair of shoes, and then now I'm blessed enough to be here, and if I go into my locker and I open it, I can find at least 10, 15 pairs of shoes. Every time I go back home, I'll take as much shoes I can possibly take and then just go there. And when I go there, I just give them out because I know how how would that would help them.
He's an unbelievable human being, and just a joy to coach every day, but not just to coach, just to be around.
He is the nicest person you ever want to meet. He's got the biggest heart. He's so generous. He's just kind.
He's coming into his own, and this is when guys, especially of his caliber of player, really hit their stride.
Diallo takes a deep lob to Diallo and the lay-in for the Minutemen.
Is halfway through their sophomore season, and you can see that, and that's what's happening and transpiring with Samba right now.
Through the heartbreak and the adversity, Samba has overcome, and he's remained a character, a jokester, a guy who provides energy and laughs to his teammates, coaches, and friends. He is Samba Diallo, a young man from Senegal with an award-winning smile. He is Samba Diallo, and that's his story so far.